Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
Yo, YouTube, Spotify, you've been hit with the Seoul Dojo Podcast. Curtis Russell and Jamal Johnson. What's happening, man?
What's going on, man? Technical difficulties and
As
whatnot.
usual.
We back at it, man. We back at it.
We are back at it, man. We were talking about how early Christmas comes every year because it seems like it comes earlier. And I was talking about Lifetime Movie Network or whatever, and they were like, yo, yeah, let's go ahead and start showing all these Christmas movies. And they have their own like Christmas movies. And I said, what was it? A Christmas in Louisiana.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, that's going to be very romantic if they go to like the French Quarter or something.
Yeah.
But then when you got to go to the family's house and it's in the Ninth Ward, that's when the movie's going to come in.
Yeah.
That's probably when it's going to end. So it's just, it seems like it gets earlier.
Yeah.
Like I
You're
start
right,
hearing
man.
about it in August.
Yeah, you're right, man. It does get earlier each year. Like I said, I think if I'm not mistaken, it was like early October when they started. At least when I started paying attention to it, because like I said, I don't go to a lot of stores. So when I did start seeing it, I'm like, no. In fact, right down the street from my house, there's like this house that has like all these Christmas lights on it. I'm like, dude, what in the world are you doing?
Yeah, right. It's like I said, it's literally every year now. Like it gets so early, and I just think y'all need to slow down. You guys need to start respecting Thanksgiving a little bit more, okay? Like that's personally my favorite holiday. I love that holiday. So, but yo, we got a big show for you guys today. It's gonna be a fairly long show. We're gonna try to get through everything we want to get through.
Yeah.
We are gonna start off with the burning questions because there's so many questions. And looking at these questions, I noticed that a lot of people they want to know about the future of gaming. When I look at a lot of these questions, they want to know about the future, about the next console generations, what's going to change within the consoles, what's going to change with new avenues of gaming opening up. So, like, that's what a lot of these questions are based off of. Yeah. So, we're going to jump right into that and see what's going down. So, the first question comes from a man, Kevin. And you guys also, if you guys follow us on Instagram, follow me on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, you guys can see when I put up the burning questions promotion that you guys can get in the comments, put your questions in, and I will let you know that we're going to throw it on the Seoul Dojo podcast for the upcoming podcast. So make sure you guys do that. All right. So my man Kevin, he asked a really good question. He asked a few questions, actually. He said, should I get Red Dead Redemption 2 for PC? Which is the first question. And then he was like, I can't find good details about it. The online mode, what is it exactly? Do you play with friends, random people? What exactly does it offer different from the regular version of the game? Let's start with the first question. Should I get Red Dead Redemption 2 for PC? I think with recent reviews right now, it seems like there's a little bit of a rocky start. Some people are having issues with the Rockstar launcher, which you would think like this is your first big release on here. Yeah. Of course, they released it a few weeks back, and you can get San Andreas for free. That's why I even downloaded it myself. And it seems like it's already having a little bit of issues. But Red Dead Redemption 2 on PC, if you haven't played it, I saw 4K 60 frames per second played on it, and it's absolutely gorgeous. Yeah,
we imagine that.
I mean, it was like an open plane, and it's already a beautiful game on consoles. Yeah. It really is a beautiful game, and it was like this view. It's like he's in this open plane, and it's on Game Ranks. So follow Game Ranks on YouTube. Subscribe. It's this open world that you see, this open plane, and it's like he's walking in the clouds, and the draw distances are so much more sharper. Like I said, on the console it looks good. Yeah. But this is just making it look way better. So if you haven't played Red Dead Redemption 2, the story, yes, Kevin, you should get it if you haven't played it. I'd give it maybe like a week, let them iron out the kinks, but it looks beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I can't wait to see it with a higher frame rate. Refresh rates are always a thing. Yeah. So like that would be great to see that. Jay, what would you think about his next question? I can't find any when he was like the online mode. What would you, if you could explain like the online mode exactly? What is it? Red Dead Redemption Online. Red Dead Online, I mean.
Well, he says, what is the online mode in terms of?
In terms of what is it? Because I guess he doesn't know anything about it.
Like, so he's never played Red Dead
I don't think he's played. I don't know if he's played like Red Dead, like Redemption, the first one. Mm-hmm. So,
well, I mean, I guess he hasn't played Red Dead 2 at all.
No, Red Dead Redemption 2, no. So you're going in like, if you had to explain like what Red Dead Online was.
I mean, it's. I would say GTA. I mean, obviously it has that
Basically GTA Online,
feel to it. Mm-hmm. But I will say, like, compared to GTA, you're playing with other players, but you're not really. You know what I mean? Like, you could pass by like a normal player, and you would think that he's like an NPC.
Yeah.
So it's really like you playing single player. Honestly, like unless you invite your friends, you got to kind of got this online world aspect to it, but it still feels like a big single player because. Compared to, like I said, GTA, where you're coming across people killing you, or just whatever the case may be, that's just not the case in Red Dead.
Yeah, and you talk about a lot of it feels like a single player game, but it's definitely multiplayer online, and it's basically GTA Online, but that kind of aesthetic that you're kind of mentioning is like it's a little bit more, it's a lot more open, a little bit slower as the game is. The game is basically a lot slower, more tedious, and some people don't like that, some people do like that, but it's like with Red Dead, I mean with the GTA Online, when you look at how you make money off of nightclubs and off of drug deals and things like that, they kind of do that on the other side with Red Dead with like hunting. What is the other thing that just what is the other thing you could do? Trading. Yeah, the trading. They basically use that formula on Red Dead Online. So you're basically doing the same thing on Red Dead Online that you do on GTA Online. So it's basically that. Like it's Red Dead. It's GTA Online, but with horses and more open worlds. Right. A lot more open, a lot bigger. Yeah. So that's the difference between the regular mode and, which is his third question, the difference between the regular mode and the story is that it is online. It's a little bit, they changed some things though about the online mode. Like it's a little bit quicker to loot people. Yeah. So like they use little quality of lives that make it a little bit faster because it is online. Yeah. And like it's more about, I think it's more about leveling up and more about making more money, where the Red Dead Redemption 2 is about the story and things like that. So yeah, that's the best way I can do it. Next question comes from a man, John Gomez. He says, is VR going to be the next major pivot point in gaming, or will traditional consoles continue for another few generations?
Well, that's a good question.
I told you, people are really worried about the future of gaming. Like they want to know where it's going, and hopefully we can provide you guys with that. Jay, what do you think about VR? Do you think it's already major?
I think it is major. Obviously, like I said, I just saw a video not too long ago of the different kind of the history of the VR, and just like there's so many different systems. Everybody was getting in on it, or different equipment, and everybody's getting in on it. I think it would be interesting. Honestly, I wouldn't mind it being the future, because if we could have the same experience that we have, with any of these games we play, and now we're experiencing this in a true first person perspective, or whatever the case may be. I think it'd be awesome. But like I said, and on top of that, a while back they had this machine. It's like a 4-way treadmill where you either go left or right, and you're like buckled down into this thing. And so you, like, if you were to run, the machine would pick up you running on the game, and if you stopped, then the treadmill will stop. So like I said, I'm interested in seeing if they continue to implement something in like that, because obviously that was expensive. But I mean, I don't think we're that close.
I don't think it'll take over. In relations to the question, I don't think console gaming is going to go anywhere. I don't think it's going anywhere. I think VR is and this might be in relation to the next couple of questions, but I think VR is going to be its own avenue. I think VR is going to have its own place in gaming, because it is kind of like this futuristic thing you kind of get out of it. And a lot of people are interested in VR. Yeah. I'm personally not. Yeah. I had this conversation with my man Key on the way here. I'm not interested in VR. And there's another thing we were talking about that I said I'm just not interested in that. With mobile gaming, like how you, like with Pokemon Go and Wizards Unite, the Harry Potter game is like you got to walk around, and I'm just not interested in that. I like to sit down, have a controller, and be immersed that way. Yeah. So console generations will go forever. They will go forever. Do I think VR is going to be major? Yes.
Yeah. And I mean, like I said, and it's not like this is a Google Stadia or a VR is an accessory to console. So it couldn't take over console because it's an accessory to it. So I mean, that would be comparing a car taking over for an Apple. You know what I mean?
Exactly. I got you. what is your take? This one comes from a man, Justin. He says, "What is your take on systems starting to come out without disk drives, and do you think hard copies will start phasing out?"
So you said systems
that Xbox released that Xbox that didn't have a disk drive, so all your games would be digital.
So they don't have so they don't have the disc slot. Yeah. I don't know. I mean,
would you spend money on that?
I don't know. I mean, most of my games are digital anyway. So I guess I don't know. But for those people that say for instance they did go buy a hard copy of a game or they're not sure of it, like I said, I mean they can't get rid of this game afterwards. They're stuck with it. So like I said, but I'm typically if I'm buying a game digital, then I'm probably holding on to it. I'm just gonna end up sticking with it.
Yeah, and so in relation to what do I think about? They have to be. What do I think about consoles without disk drives? The issue with the Xbox one was it was overly priced.
Yeah.
I think if you price them right, I think people will jump. And for people that just don't really care about going to buy games and buy them digital, okay, that's cool. Do I think they're going to phase out? I think if everybody keeps thinking GameStop's going to close. Whenever that really happens, that might be the first step to like physical copies not really being around too much.
Yeah.
But maybe at some point there might be a little bit of a phase out. Not saying developers won't keep making disc, but I think more and more people will stop buying them. I think one of the issues is our consoles are still not making. They're not going. Let me restart. Games are starting to get really taxing on your memory.
Yeah.
Because it's like games aren't just 3 gigs anymore. No, it's like 120.
Yeah.
And games are getting bigger and more heftier on the memory. So it's like, take away that disk drive. Are you giving me more terabytes?
Right.
We're not even at gigs no more. We're at terabytes. So it's like, are you giving me more terabytes? But it's like, if you add in that, you're gonna have to pay money.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have to pay even more money. So there has to be like a middle point with that, with the price, the terabytes, and everything all together. So it could phase out at some point, but it's see, these people want to know about the future, and I haven't even thought about that. I'm trying to figure out what's going on with it right now.
Like I said, I mean, and it would be interesting to say the least. But like I said, I mean, you always kind of got that factor in it. Like I said, I buy a lot of digital games, so it's hard for me to say, oh, well, you know what? And especially for you to charge any kind of different amount of price. I mean, right now I should be getting charged the same exact amount of price for my digital game. You taking away my disc drive, I don't see how that provides a benefit to me. Like I said, unless it's something that's going to make this thing perform well, it's going to somehow give me more memory. But like I said, it's a disc drive. It's just literally you inserting this disc. This disc is going to be 60 gigabytes, whether it's on the CD or whether it's digital.
Oh, starting off.
Yeah. So like I said, they're both going to be the exact same thing. Yeah. So like I said, I mean, for them to even, dude, that's a ripoff. I don't know.
Well, I think the issue with the Xbox one was it started off at like 200. I think might have been 250. I don't know. Somebody can fact check me on that. I don't care. But I think it was about 250. And I was like, for an Xbox that already came out, you took away a disc drive and you want 250 for it? Like, no, this ain't PlayStation or something. Yeah.
Like I said, it's going to have to be like something like I said, unless there was something in addition to that. And like I said, it could be something I look up. But like I said, if it's just purely you taking off the disc drive, you know what I mean? Like, okay, cool. Here you go. No, that's like you taking off the little button for like your gas tank that you pop it out. So instead of having that, you can just click it and they're like, okay, we're gonna charge you, $40 more.
more money for that.
Yeah.
Next question comes from a guy on Instagram, Shiny Disco Paul. Do you think streaming is the future of gaming or just a revenue source for developers?
Is it the future of gaming or is it
streaming? Do you think streaming is the future of gaming or just a revenue source for developers? That's the question.
So I'm going to probably have you explain that out.
So when he means by streaming, Google Stadia, PlayStation's streaming service, do I think it's a future of gaming? I don't think it's going to, like with the other question, I don't think it's going to take away anything from consoles, but I think some people will use it. Yeah. I think it will be around just like VR.
Yeah. I mean, and like I said, I mean, once again, this is, well, at least in certain instances, but this is like in addition to, like I said, when you talk about like that physical copy type deal. Now, like I said, the avenues that I hope opens up for when it comes down to a lot of these games, like you have the red box and whatnot, but being able to have a streaming service that you can, and like I said, there's a lot they're gonna have to do. But a streaming service to where you're able to, say, for instance, if you wanted to rent a game for, you know, a little while, say, okay, well, you know what, I want to try this out. That way I can pay the small price for this. And like I said, I mean, I might need to copyright that or patent that, but be able to play this game for a little bit, you know, and say, okay, well, you know what, I want to do it, or whatever membership. So I think, like I said, it opens up the windows for that. And like I said, try to look at the positive of it. Do I think it's going to affect, like I said, it won't affect it whatsoever, because like I said, that's not these developers, it's not these companies' focus. You know, now if they turn their focus towards it, that'd be a different thing. But clearly we can see through all the consoles they're making and the plans they have, the 10-year plans they have, that it's not gonna, it won't change anything. As long as they're making these consoles and they're telling you this is what we're gonna do, it won't change anything.
Yeah, and the streaming services might find their calling with a certain kind of fan base. I'm definitely not gonna jump into it because I don't want to, like, I think I talked about this on the last episode. If I'm playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey, as soon as Ubisoft pulls the plug on that, it's off of the system. Yeah. So it's like, no, it doesn't really work like that with actual consoles. If I have the disc, I get to play this game for as long as I want it or want to, you know? He asked one more question. This is our last question. What do you guys think about the new PlayStation streaming service? So it's not necessarily new, but I do like, what is it? PlayStation
PS Now?
Yeah, PlayStation Now. So it's, apparently it's not streaming anymore. You can like download, which is great. But I think streaming alone is something that's really, I think it's really hard to do because you're going to sit here and it's like, I don't think necessarily our Wi-Fi is strong enough here in the States just yet that you can be able to stream 1080, 60 frames per second. Just like that's my issue with Stadia. So let's say it's a streaming service, like straight up. Like it's just, I think it's going to take a while for that kind of avenue to really open up and be perfected. That's what I'm trying to say.
And like I said, I think that I don't think it will take that long, just compared to, like I said, you know, when you look at just non-gaming streaming services too. And like I said, now we've had experience in terms of the, and this was way while back, but the PS Now when we did, you know, Dead Space 3.
And that was streamed.
Yeah. And now, like I said, so they've come a long way since then. So like I said, I'm interested in seeing it because, like I said, I'm just looking at the different avenues that they can open up outside of that. Now, in terms of, like I said, it taking over or it replacing, it's somehow replacing, you know, the physical copies or whatever the case may be, digital copies, or however, whatever they try to do to make this more cost efficient compared to consoles, or, you know, it won't beat it in performance because, like I said, at the end of the day, me hooked up to hardwired into my console versus you running off of Wi-Fi already, you know, you're at a disadvantage. Yeah. So.
Yeah, no, I got it. And yeah, like you said, you say you pay $14 a month for it. Yeah, it's like that's pretty fair. You can play whatever games you want, but at the same time, you're probably not getting the same quality, like you said, of if you were just playing on console, or even if you were hardwired. Yeah, like you said. So, yeah, that's wow. Like I said, those guys they just want to know about the future of gaming, which I think we need to start kind of going deep into. That might be the next podcast topic that we get into. Jay, let's talk about one of our segues, man. One of our topics, opinions.
All right.
People got a lot of them.
Yeah.
There's good and bad. I've heard a lot of bad. Need more good, but not. Off your head, what do you think about opinions on gaming that you've been seeing so far? Because we have a lot of opinions here on the Seoul Dojo. Some people don't agree. Some people do agree. I know. I don't know. How would you tackle, like when you see on Reddit, like how. What are some of the opinions that you see on Reddit and you just go, that's just not right?
Well, I don't come across too many. Well, I guess in terms of the gaming, like I said, I mean, I guess opinions in general, it's just kind of your typical I would say ignorant. And like I said, I don't say that in a negative way, but they just don't know. So it's like you know, it's like talking about rocket science. Yeah. And you have no idea, but yet because you have formulated in your mind, you believe that this should function this way. Therefore, I'm going to say, okay, this is how this operates versus you have nothing else to back up that. So like I said, that's just pretty much what you come across. It's just kind of, and we've talked about that before. Like it's just pure ignorance at that point to where you're just like, it's not even worth me responding to because like you just don't know. So I can't provide you facts because you wouldn't even understand or know the facts that I'm providing you to go back and fact check. So. Yeah.
Just for opinion's sake, like when we talk about a game, and like I don't like talking to people that haven't played enough games, I guess. Like I don't like talking to people that say, hey, I'm just gonna play my traditional 2K and one other game, which it could be like Call of Duty or whatever, Gears of War, whatever, and try to talk about different kind of games. Yeah. Like I don't like when people try to jump on, oh well, Anthem didn't do this, or I kind of like this game, and I'm like, did you even play it? Yeah. Did you even play it? Because I think it's one thing when you actually play a game versus when you're sitting here reading about a game, right? Yeah. And like, I mean, I know I've probably been the biggest offender of that when it comes to like 2K, but it's not with 2K. It's not just NBA 2K that we're dealing with. It's like multiple games using these kind of tactics. Yeah, the butt pounding tactics, and like people, all I see online is people are liking the butt pounding that these guys are getting. Like, and it's like now we're starting to see it with Fallout 76. You know? And it's like, it's not just 2K. I need people to understand that. It's not just 2K. It's the fact that it's radiating to other games that I like. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And it's like those kind of butt pounding tactics are going to different games. It's going to the Fallouts. It's going to the Anthems. It's going to the, I don't think NBA Live had it, but it's, you know what I mean? It's going to other games. And it's like, it's creating a toxic place for Reddit. Yeah, where developers can't talk to their community. Yeah, and I think as gamers we shouldn't always rat on these, you know, these gamers all the time, or these developers all the time. But when you screw us that way, when it comes to microtransactions, loot boxes, things like that, we get upset at it because we feel like you don't care about us. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And if you need to make extra money, there's a lot of, you can do expansions, DLC. Like there's a whole bunch of developers out here that have done it right.
Yeah, I mean, you look at Destiny. Like I said, they have it where, you know, they've had microtransactions in there. And like I said, we've talked about microtransactions a ton, so I won't really even go into it.
Probably way too much on this channel.
Yeah, but you know, even with them, you know, we just talked about last podcast where they've constantly added in expansions and DLCs, and we talked about them making Destiny free on Steam, and I was like, well, you know,
you pulled the plug on that. On me.
Yeah. I said it doesn't matter because when I went and checked, like I said, you had to buy the expansion in order to really play this game. Yeah. So, like I said, I mean, you got it where they've done it that way, and I don't really like the way that Destiny did it. You know how I feel about me charging me for a whole new game. You give me kind of limited content, like a third of the content in the first place. But yeah, I mean, you can do that. Like I said, there's ways to do it. They may be shady, but like I said, there's other ways to do it and actually provide more content. Yeah. And so that's why people still play Destiny. I mean, it's still content.
Yeah, and in Destiny's way, it's like the game has how many expansions right now? Three different ones, two different ones.
I think it's two or three. They just had a new one, if I'm not mistaken, just not too long ago.
Yeah, so you get the first. Say you do get it free, it's like, well, you're kind of left behind because everybody's on to either the expansion, and the game's been out for like 3 years already, right? So like it's like nobody's really just playing the base level of the base content. So it's like everybody's moved on to all the expansions. So yeah, you're gonna be playing Destiny, but you might be playing by yourself. Yeah, you're gonna be kind of way behind everybody else. So don't they have like something? It's like $10 you can boost yourself up. Yeah. So at the end of the day, you're spending more money than free.
Yeah, and like I said, I don't even know if I'm not mistaken, they still have that, and like I said, they put you at like the base minimum level for whatever. I guess that new. Well, I don't think it's even for that new DLC. If you buy the new DLC or expansion, then they'll put you at the base level for that. Otherwise, they'll just put you somewhere to where you're reaching outside of going through the story mode, basically.
Yeah, I got you. So we were talking on our opinions, and we straight went right into microtransactions. No, it's another thing is I don't like when people let certain people craft opinions for you. Yeah. And I think Reddit does that a lot for people. Yeah. Like if you haven't played a game, like if you haven't played Hearthstone, right? Yeah. Don't go on Reddit and think, and everybody says Hearthstone sucks. Hearthstone doesn't suck. It's a good game. Yeah. And just because everybody's kind of hounding the game, you're like, it sucks. It's not that good. Yeah. I don't like when people do that.
Yeah. In fact, not to cut you off, but one of the games, and like I said, you know, that's going on, and we talked about Call of Duty, but like the new Call of Duty Modern Warfare, like I told you, it's like 50-50 right now because you got these people that, well, like I said, you got hardcore players that like it and you got hardcore players that hate it. Yeah. But like I said, it's up in the air because I'll go to a comment section of like this big YouTuber and it's basically just Reddit, but in YouTube. You go through all these comments and, oh, yeah, man, I'm glad some other big YouTuber said this and that because this game sucks, this and that. And like I said, you got people formulating these opinions, as this is fact. Yeah. But once again, like I said, they're not providing any kind of information whatsoever. And ultimately, like I said, we believe in we're going to look at this game, we're going to play this game ourselves. Now, like I said, it looks good to me in terms of all the gameplay that I've looked at, all the different factors that I've considered. I'm like, well, considering Call of Duty, I mean, it just doesn't seem too bad compared to all the other ones that were past. I mean, if you can deal with the things that were in the past, you can deal with this. Yeah. So
that's a perfect example because I still have yet played Call of Duty, the new one, and it's like what I think about it is I don't think much of it. I've seen the reviews. It seems middle waters with it. Like you said, like a lot of hardcore fans are like, oh well, I don't like it. I do like it. Yeah. The reviews are middle water. They're about 8.8s. Yeah. Or 8.5s. Metacritic gave it like a 83%, I think. Yeah. So it seems like a decent game. Yeah. But I'm not gonna sit here and look at that and be like, Call of Duty ain't good then. Yeah. It's no good. It's just not good enough. No.
Or it's good,
Yeah, it's the perfect game. It's amazing. It's like, no, I haven't played it. So I'm not gonna sit here and have like a strong opinion on it, you know? So I think that's an issue that a lot of people get too, is like they jump on the hate wagon. Like it's like if Anthem came out the way it came out, I'm not going to jump on the hate wagon. Like if I played Anthem, didn't like it, actually hated it because of how EA treated us and thought they was just going to give us a crap game and thought it was all going to be Gucci. So that's when I was like, okay, I don't like it because I have my own opinion to it. But me and you both played that game. So yeah. So anything else on opinions? I know there's so much I got to say. I just haven't wrote them down in sub notes.
Yeah. Like I said, nonetheless, like I said, I mean, you got some good opinions, you got some bad opinions. Like I said, you got some that make you think, and like I said, make you go back and say, okay, well, let me see how much.
So what about facts? So like, opinion and facts should kind of go, not hand in hand, but like facts should come into opinions, right?
Yeah, I mean that's ultimately you want to formulate your opinion based upon the facts. If I say, okay, well, say for instance our 90-second reviews, the ratings that we give, okay, we're going to state facts about the games. If there is a bug here, like the FIFA career mode or FIFA career.
Yeah, you're right.
Not FIFA career. FIFA 20, goodness.
FIFA 20.
But the FIFA player career, you said, okay, well, they haven't done anything to it. It sucks. Ultimate Team, we went in and like I said, we go through each one. We go and tell you the facts about this, and this is what led to our opinion. This ain't, okay, well, we thought they put, they focused mainly on Ultimate Team. We thought that there wasn't thought there was bugs in the game. No, they're clear as day there. Yeah. Therefore, we formulate our opinion based on that.
Right. And FIFA 20 is one of those games that is still they're still trying to fix that game going into November. And it came out late September?
Yeah.
So it's like, oh my goodness. I don't even want it to be that podcast, man. But yeah, everybody can formulate any kind of opinion. At the end of the day, it's your opinion is your opinion. But like you said, facts has to kind of come into that. You guys got to know what you're talking about, things like that. Because I mean, man, the amount of reading I do for video games, and I'm not trying to sound like I know everything because I don't. Yeah, I really honestly don't. But I try to read as much as I can and try to go into it as much as I can. I try to play everything as I can because I don't want to be caught out like, somebody's talking about a game or talking about a situation and I really don't know about it. I really don't want to. I don't like that feeling of it. Yeah. So, yeah, and with opinions, there was something else I was about to say. I can't believe I just forgot about that. Like, soon as it just. Oh, I love when people say something like I didn't say something, but it's like I have a whole archive of stuff that I can go. But I did say that. Yeah. Like I love it. It's like you didn't say that. I've talked about it right here. Like if you go on the Seoul Dojo, you can even go to My Ninja Game and I've talked about it. Yeah. I've talked about it. I've given solutions to multiple issues, and it's amazing. That's what happens when you do so much podcasting. It's like you've talked about just about everything. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah. Anything else on opinions?
No.
We good. So recently we've been doing videos. Haven't slowed down, but me and Jay are getting ready for a whole barrage of videos that are about to come out. Games we chill to. What a video that was.
Yeah, it was a
really funny video. Yeah, a lot of people liked it. I really wanted to do a video about, and if you guys don't know, it's me. It's totally not Jay's voice. It's me that's on the video. But I wanted to do a video that just kind of talked about games that don't have all the violence in it, that were just a lot more slower. Yeah. And just my experiences with those games and what those games mean to me and how I feel about when I play them. Mm-hmm. So I did that kind of video, and a lot of people just really thought it was funny. I didn't think it was as funny as people thought, though. Yeah.
Well, you know what? Like I said, I told you, obviously you sent it over to her. We have it, in our drive, and so I took a look at it just to kind of get the feel of it, so we can get a thumbnail and a title up. And like I said, I mean, I thought it was hilarious. It was definitely one of the videos that isn't kind of your necessary style of video. I mean, you said it yourself, is that you really don't crack a lot of jokes in a lot of videos. You kind of have that serious aspect. So this was like a completely different, or a chill video, so like I said, I found it hilarious. Like I said, it was kind of just one joke after another, just kind of transitioning well into the video.
Had a story with it.
Yeah. And like I said, it was a short video, 2.5 minute video, just kind of kept your attention. So like I said, it was, and you know how I am. Like, I'm very strict. I'm very tough. So just because we're both on the Seoul Dojo, I'm like, listen, if this video sucked, you're just going to have to know it sucks. So.
Yeah. I'm going to have to send this back, and you're just going to have to do it again. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and because I was thinking, I was like, okay, we should do the top 5 videos. All right, I'm going to start doing the top 5 videos. So I started getting the list of, like, games that were a lot more chill, on the chill side, and that you can kind of just lay back and kind of just play. Yeah. And I was like, this is just, I don't know, in the back of my head, I was like, I really don't want to do this style of video anymore. I was like, all right, let's start working on discussion videos. And I was like, how about we make the discussion videos more personal and really funny in a way? Yeah. So I started typing it up, and I'm like, yo, this is kind of funny. Like, I'm just going to completely be myself. I don't care if the jokes are corny, and I'm just going to do it. I'm going to edit it to what I like, and I'm just going to send it over. And I think the best part of that video is, like, I didn't think. Yeah. I didn't really, I mean, I thought, but I didn't think about what I was really creating until it was all done. And I watched it, dude, I've watched that video 15 times. And I was like, this is actually pretty good. Yeah. So that's how our discussion videos are going to come out. And I feel like those videos are probably the hardest videos to make because you want to talk about something that's interesting and make it funny. Yeah. And try to just make it all smooth, and everything has to work together. Yeah. So you've been doing a lot on your new channel, figuring out the internet. Yeah. So like I said, it definitely is. And kind of like that was one of the things that in this channel, Film Theory. But like I said, just kind of seeing that video and whatnot, I was like, well, you know what? I'm going to try to do something different. And like I said, the last video that I released on my channel is like something completely out of the norm. If you guys know me well enough, or you just look at the prior 2 videos I released, to that, I'm not this excited, expressive person all the time. Like I said, I can be, but that's just not who I am. But I said, well, you know what? For this video, I'm just going to see how it works out. Like I said, I had a lot of fun doing the video. Like I said, just some jokes and stuff in there. Like I said, some corny jokes, but nonetheless, I enjoyed it. I watched the video 50 million times because any video that I make, and it's not to sound what is the word? Egotistical, or narcissistic. Yeah, but like I said, I see it as an art, like I said, and I enjoy the process. So like I said, I made this because I enjoyed it, so I'm gonna keep watching it. The funny thing is, I got on the notes of me we were gonna talk about your new channel. That's just a great segue into it. But no, I think figuring out the internet is a wonderful, and I've told you before, it's a wonderful concept. Yeah. And some of the things that you talked about already are really informative. And the funny thing is, I was watching it, and I was like, this dude ain't like that. Like, he ain't even that kind of person. And I'm like, he's actually sitting here writing comedy. It's actually really funny to think. But the second video you did was brought awareness to a deaf YouTuber. And I thought that was a really good video because you made it funny, and you brought awareness to something that was just really good. And anybody can watch that and be like, oh, that's awesome. Maybe my hearing ain't good, or I'm deaf, and I should definitely watch her. And it brought awareness to a really good channel. Yeah. And for a good cause too. Yeah. So exactly. that was really awesome. Your recent video was it was the YouTube for Dummies one. Yeah. Helping out people with YouTube because it's nuts. So you're doing a lot of awesome work on there. Yeah. And like I said, there's more to come. Like I said, there's gonna be a Seoul Dojo figuring out the internet crossover. Like I said, that'd be amazing. We got some stuff coming, but like I said, it is a channel that it's random and a lot of stuff that we can't necessarily, or we don't want to necessarily make the dojo into. Like I said, it allows that channel to kind of just be random. Like I said, we got, and this is a sneak peek, but we talked about,
the government or whoever listening to our conversations through our phones and then recommending this stuff, even though we've never searched it. So
exactly,
like I say, you got stuff that you talk about like that, you have fun with it, you come up with these theories, and you just put them into a video. Like I said, these theories may not go anywhere, but people want to see that stuff.
Exactly. And it takes some critical thinking. You got to really think out the whole thing, and you're like, all right, is this funny? Does it make sense? Yeah. So those kind of videos, I'm really enjoying making them because it's something completely different. Like you said, I try to be more serious, try to do the whole news thing and try to get it right with that. Try to get the facts right. But like with this, it's more about my personal experiences and how all that works. My bad, I'm just pulling up chat here. But yeah, I think these videos are really, really great. I think they're going to be awesome. Moving on. So I've been playing The Outer Worlds. I know Tashel's finished The Outer Worlds. Hopefully I can finish it within the next 2 weeks so I can get a review out and review it effectively. Yeah. The Outer Worlds is what I love about The Outer Worlds, Jay. There's like 80 different things, but the main things I love about The Outer Worlds is it's a traditional RPG through and through. Yeah. It has the level, it has a skill tree, it has multiple dialogue. So it's so deep and rich in dialogue. Yeah. I think that's one of the biggest things with this game that a lot of people can really love if you're really into that. If you're really into like Mass Effect, if you're really into Fallout, of course, that's the biggest comparison. If you're really into like getting deep into like what the characters are like, what issues they have. And I want to do a video over this because it's like, it's silly to think about it, but it's like you start growing closer to these characters as you play the game because you start realizing that some of their issues are very real world like, but they're in this fake universe. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So my personal favorite, I tweeted about it, is Parvati right now. And she's in love with this female engineer. And I've been trying to help her overcome her fear of like, she's never been in a relationship where like it's been very physical. Yeah. She's very bad at that, and she's very bad at talking to people too. So I've been trying to help her overcome that. So we were in a bar and I was talking, and I talked to her for about 30 minutes. Like the dialogue options are so diversive. Is that the right word to use? Like they're so different. Yeah. Okay, and it's like a lot of the dialogue options, I was like, ooh, I would really say that to her in real life. So I was doing that, and like we talked for like literally, like I said, 20 minutes, and I got so much EXP from that. But like after the conversation was done, I was like, that's done. Yeah. Like I want to keep talking. Like it's like, and you get so deep into these characters, and I love the Outer Worlds for that.
Like I said, I haven't played the Outer Worlds. I haven't been able to see any gameplay on it, but like does the world interactions kind of affect your, I guess, the storyline of it? Because like I said, I don't even know what Outer Worlds consist of. Yeah. So like, is that one of the things where it kind of affects?
Yeah, I was actually gonna I didn't want to get too deep into it because that's one of the beauties of the game too. Is like you have so many choices you have to make, and there's so many different ways you can go about quest. Yeah. So I remember I was doing the quest for 2 different factions, and it's like the game puts the whole world on your shoulders the whole time because they're like, okay, this faction wants to do this and this faction wants to do this. Who do you think is right? And it's like at the same time, they're both trying to do the greater good of the one I'm going to refer to as Monarch because that's one of the planets. And it's like, dang, like who's better at what? And I remember like there was 2 people in this faction. I don't want to really give any spoilers, so I'm going to kind of watch my context here. There was 2 people in the factions. One dude was very irresponsible, and the other one was like really responsible, but I kept doing the stuff for the irresponsible guy. Yeah. And like the other person that was more responsible, her stuff was optional. It was optional in the quest. Yeah. And I kept skipping over it. So like I wanted both factions to kind of work together. Yeah. And it ended up being that he wanted that one of the dudes of one of the factions wanted the female that was really responsible to be part of his faction, and they can build up Monarch together. Yeah. So when I proposed that to that woman, she said, no, you didn't do any of the things I wanted you to do. Why would I help you? And I was like, wow. Yeah, that is. So I killed them both. Like, it's just like, so I was just like, screw it. That faction, screw it. Like, they just got to go, and I'm just going to side with this one. But that's going to affect me. That's probably going to affect me later. Yeah. And you can be a complete loser in this game. You can kill everybody.
Yeah.
You can kill whoever you want, and the game just gives you all that freedom.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to probably mention all that in the review. One of the things that I love about this game is it's straightforward and just the premise of the game. No microtransactions, no loot boxes. It's a 40-hour game. 40 to 30-hour game, 30 to 40-hour game. You begin it, you end it, that's it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm. The Outer Worlds, it's great. Let's start talking about BlizzCon a little bit. So with Blizzard, 800 people got laid off. I want to say last year.
Mm-hmm.
What else has been going on with Blizzard? That's just been terrible. Oh man, I drew a blank there. I know there's been the out of season April Fool's joke with Diablo Immortal when they brought out a mobile game.
You know what, dude? I was gonna ask you about that, not to cut you off, because I seen a video. In fact, I was gonna talk to you about this off podcast, but so it was like this video, and I was wondering why it just popped up in my recommended, and it was like the guy at the guy that was at I don't know who it was, the community manager, whoever, but they were like at the conference or whatever, right? And like they announced this mobile game to a bunch of PC players, and he was like, "Do you guys not even have phones?" I was like, oh my, in fact, I didn't want to finish the video because I didn't want to cringe that much. I just looked through the comment section. I was like, dude, this is not about to end well for this dude.
And for a dude that Jay doesn't know too much about the whole Blizzard situation. That's why I'm about to fill him in, and we'll talk about all the games. But it's Diablo Immortal. Everybody was hyped about Diablo 4 coming out during the Blizzard convention last year, and then they proposed and brought out this Diablo Immortal, which is a mobile game, and it's nothing but PC players in the audience. So just oh yeah, Diablo 4, and it's not even that they were waiting for Diablo 4. It's the fact that you brought out a mobile game amongst all these people with high-powered PCs, most likely.
Yeah,
and the dude is just he did. They took questions and they got booed so much because people were like, "Is this gonna come to PC at some point?" And they were like, "No, we don't have any plans." People booed. And then, of course, one dude steps up and he's like, "Yeah, is this some out-of-season April Fool's joke?"
Yeah.
And the dude was like, "No." And then he was like, "Do you guys not have phones?" It's like, yeah, we have phones, but we don't want to play Diablo on them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's that disconnect from your fans. You know what I'm saying? But this one, they tried to apologize, and the whole Hong Kong thing, I'm not going to get into it. It's all politics and stuff like that. But all the protests has been going on. But now Diablo 4, Overwatch, and a new expansion for World of Warcraft is now being made. So watch Diablo 4. I love Diablo 3. I like Diablo 2. What do you think about Overwatch 2? Do you think is it time for an Overwatch 2?
Yeah, I think Overwatch has been out for quite some time now. Like I said, and it's definitely, I didn't get to play Overwatch. I don't think I even got to play it. I've seen a lot of it, so like I said, it definitely seems like a fun game. But I think it is time. They could milk it forever, but like I said, it's interesting to see what they're gonna do as far as new stuff going forward. Yeah. Especially with it being on, the competitive scene and everything like that too. So
yeah, I think it would be great for the competitive scene, and I think people are ready for an Overwatch 2. Don't really play World of Warcraft, but they always get good expansion, so that's cool for everybody that did that. Also, for the people there, they had a couple of finals. So the Overwatch champions is actually the United States. They won.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah, I was like, okay, that's what's up.
Yeah, that's awesome. That is awesome.
That is awesome. So yeah, congratulations to the United States. Woo. I don't know her name, but I'm just gonna call her Lee because that's her first name. She is the first woman. She's the first woman to win the Hearthstone finals at BlizzCon. So I watched the video of her winning, and she apparently got this guy in a lose-lose situation, pressed the button, and it was over. I don't understand Hearthstone. I just knew that. I was like, oh yeah, that's probably over, because the way the commentator was talking. So I was like, oh man. Oh man, that's crazy. So anything else on BlizzCon?
No, we good.
We chugging along. How much time we got?
We got about 20. We got about 20.
Oh,
20
sweet.
minutes.
Yeah, we're back in the news, baby. We're going to news. Watch Dogs Legions, God and Monsters, and Rainbow Six Quarantine all get a delay. I don't think this is in relation to The Last of Us 2 getting delayed. I don't think they got delayed for the same reason. The reason why I think, and I don't know if you read the article, Jay, but the reason why I think they got delayed is because of the poor performance of Rainbow.
You talking about Watch Dogs?
No, I'm talking about why they got delayed. What is the games that just came out? Ghost Recon Breakpoint, and The Division 2. Yeah, I think those games just sold. Division 2 actually sold well, but apparently Ghost Recon didn't sell well, and it didn't do well. And I think they're starting to see, like, okay, our live service plans ain't really working. So we need to we have a lot of big games coming out. We need to kind of work those out and see if we can do something else. I mean, that's what I think is going on. Some people have said, both of them are just going through a little bit of a development skip or something weird is going on. No, I think that's what it is.
Yeah. I mean, that's fair enough.
And I'm hyped for all three of those games. God and Monsters looks like this Legend of Zelda Assassin's Creed mix. It looks like a really good game, but I mean, Ubisoft's been doing the same thing with their games recently. And I'm just kind of getting over it. Me and you played Ghost Recon Wildlands. Yeah. And I was just like, this is just The Division, but in a nicer place. Yeah. This is The Division, but in a tropical setting. Yeah. And I wasn't into it. Watch Dogs hasn't really been I guess you could say that the series that it should have been, especially when you look at the first game that came out. Aiden Pierce wasn't really a great character, things like that. So, Rainbow Six Quarantine does look cool though. Yeah. But I think with Ubisoft, we'll see what happens with these three games. But I honestly think it's because the poor performance of those three games or those two games that just happened. Yeah. That's why they're pushing those back. They want to see if they can do something else development wise. EA cancels NBA Live again.
Yeah, that is crazy. Like I said, I think we talked about, if I'm not mistaken, last podcast. It's crazy because we always segue back to stuff from the last podcast. But if I'm not mistaken, I think we talked about that last podcast of where the next NBA Live was, because I was looking around. I'm like, man, ain't they supposed to have like an NBA Live out at some point in time? And like I said, I always see the mobile games that lets me know that it's somewhere near close. But I don't know. Hopefully, it's for the best. I don't know.
I don't know if they'll bring it back. I don't know. I have no idea what EA and certain games that aren't Star Wars are doing. Yeah. At this point, I have no idea, because if you look at Need for Speed, the new Need for Speed that came out, Need for Speed Heat, just not interested. I think Need for Speed just needs to go die at this point. I think it's just a poor game. I think Ghost Games isn't a development team with, and I don't want to be this harsh. I really don't want to be this harsh. I don't think they have any talent. I think they are just following what EA says, textbook, and it's just not good. Yeah. When you look at the track record of Ghost Games, they haven't made a good game yet. Yeah. Not really. And then if you look at who's on, like I started looking who's on the team, and the main guy who's on the team, I forgot his name, but he hasn't even worked on a good game, really. Yeah. So I'm not interested in whatever they have to do with any Need for Speed, because Forza is probably the best, most elite racing game anyway. Yeah. But did you have any high hopes for NBA Live?
I did last year, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was last year. We talked about it, and like I said, I had some high hopes then, because like I said, they adjusted a lot of stuff, but like I said, so far they're just so far behind NBA 2K, and like I said, we know that EA is not going to they're not willing to go those links in terms of their sports games. We've already seen that. Like I said, when you look at FIFA, when you look at Madden, like I said, these places that, like I said, PES is good. It's good, but like I said, FIFA, they're kind of sitting in a place where we're still going to get more sales than them. So as long as they're not challenged, so let's put it this way, if they are challenged, they're going to crumble. And if they are not challenged, it's just going to kind of sit and say, okay, well, you know what, we'll just keep copy and pasting this game. So NBA Live was not going to compete with NBA 2K, and they're like, listen, we've already gave out our full efforts. I mean, we put James Harden on the cover for one of them. We put Joel Embiid on the cover. We did the playground and stuff like that. We did all that. We're like, if that didn't work, we're just not going to continue with this. We're not going to work with this game. So
we do talk a lot of mess about 2K, but I think they are just beating the crap out of NBA Live at this point. It's like even we don't care what game comes out because. And NBA 2K gets a little bit, like, a lot better when you look at, like, the mechanics in the game, making it feel like an actual basketball game. Like, the realism of it gets so much better. Yeah. So it's like, you're going to have to start good. You know what I'm saying? And NBA Live started out, I remember, what was the first one that came back? Was it 2015, 2016? That was the first one? Was it Russell Westbrook on the front?
I think it was Russell Westbrook.
Yeah, it was one of them, and I remember it just being very, like, spotchy, and that was just, people were like, yeah, this isn't good enough. Then the next one kind of got better. Like, people started actually playing this game again, and I think EA's just like, you're just not making enough money. Like, the competition's too good. Yeah. So we're just going to kind of drop this off. But my thing is, like, okay, what is the company that was working on NBA, like, what are they going to do? Like, are they moving to a fight night? Like, I just think when it comes to fight night, in relation to fight night, I think EA's too worried about UFC. Yeah. So, are you guys gonna start maybe? God forbid, would you start working on Dead Space? What are you doing? Like, what is this company doing? So, tell me my volume is mad low. Who's that? Turn the volume is mad low. Oh, okay. So yeah, it's really weird. Yeah, with this company. So I'm just like, I can't even.
And I mean, we know that they don't really focus too much on much of their sports games. Like I said, NHL. I think people like it just because they're used to NHL's basicness. UFC, people like UFC, but I mean, overall, we know how EA is when it comes down to these games. Like I said, if there's competition there, they're going to either try to put forth an effort. They did try to put forth an effort with NBA Live, but ultimately, like I said, 2K is just too far ahead, and they're like, well, we're just not going to try to compete with that.
Yeah, so that's another game that EA has put in the dust.
Yeah.
Last segue, WWE 2K getting very, 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 very low scores. Yeah. I think from IGN it got a 4.3. This game really hasn't been good since like 2008.
Yeah, it really hasn't.
And it seems like I think Ukes is still the developer. It seems like after 2008, it's like they just started scaling back on the sources, scaling back on the modes. Yeah. Like 2009 really wasn't that great of a game. Yeah. Then 2010 was okay. But then moving forward, they just, even going to 2K, never got better.
And like I said, and on top of that, the performance and the graphics have been getting better. And like I said, this is probably the first WWE that I've seen like kind of get more main traction, especially on YouTube in terms of like just people making so many different videos about it. Like I said, this is a game that you don't really expect people to make that much noise about. But I mean, you got random channels that are talking about WWE 2K. You know what I mean? Like when you fathom that, you know, you got these big channels talking about problems that are going on with WWE 2K. They didn't do this with FIFA. They didn't do this with Madden. So they're doing this with WWE 2K 20. And like I said, I mean, it's just horrible. I told you about the graphics where like it seemed like the graphics that went back. Yeah. You know, it looks like I could have drew, you know, a better graphics or animated a better graphics for this game.
And I saw like something with the graphics. It was like a comparison video, and it's like, to me it looked like a lighting issue. Yeah. It could be just basic graphics, but it's like it looked like a light, and sometimes lighting does change a lot. Yeah. But it's like I think they did like a face-to-face, like side-to-side comparison of like The Rock, and it was just like, oh, that is significantly worse. Yeah. Like way worse. Yeah. So I'm like, oh my goodness.
Well, lighting ain't gonna help that.
Not if it's that bad. No, probably not. So, and with NBA 2K, I feel like moving to 2K, everybody was like, okay, well, the career mode's going to be good. Yeah. Like, and it's taking those steps. But I feel like this is just a major step back for people that do like this game, because it's like we've been waiting for like that breakout WWE game that's like everybody's talking about, but it's always so it's a 7, 6. You might get that oddball game where it's like an 8. Yeah. And I think when it first kind of returned, maybe like 2017, I think it was pretty good. Yeah. And people are still waiting for that manager mode, like like the I guess the manager mode or like where you can like customize the shows. You can go against other shows and stuff like that. I forgot what that mode, GM mode, stuff like that. I think people were really waiting for that. They really want that. So like these games are never hitting that pinnacle anymore. So it's a major issue with WWE.
And it's crazy, like I said, to see just how much support there is for this game, because obviously people care enough about it to where like they're making these videos on it and they want the game to be good. But like I said, since the SmackDown versus Raw games, it really hasn't done what it's needed to in terms of capturing that WWE feel, that customizability of the older games. Like I said, if you can go and pick up, and when you think of, I think it was SmackDown Shut Your Mouth, or which one was it? The one with Brock Lesnar on there, or it's SmackDown Here Comes the Pain. I think it's SmackDown Here Comes the Pain. But nonetheless,
that's
like I say, you look at a lot of these games, like I said, and like I said, the storyline that they didn't capture with these compared to the ones now, it's just like, man, I haven't picked up a WWE 2K game, and I'm just like, each year I think about it, I'm like, you know what, this may be the year that I may just go and pick it up, try to relive some nostalgia, and I'm like, nah, I just much rather not.
I do the same thing. I'm literally like, I'm gonna pick this one up.
Yeah,
but I'm so far removed from the WWE now that like I'm like, okay, I don't even know half these people on here no more. So it's like, wow. So
like I said, and I don't either. I keep up with a YouTube channel that kind of goes through each segment, each Raw or SmackDown segment. And they'll go over the hot spots or the bright spots and the low spots, and that's about it. Like I said, I don't know who half these guys is. I'm like, all right, cool. I just want to see what has possibly happened, who came back. Like I said, they're bringing back a lot of legends. A lot of people are retiring, but other than that, I mean, I just could not be bothered because, I mean, the WWE's product in itself, and that probably carries over to the game too, because it's just not good.
I hear that. It does WWE 2K need their own competitor? Maybe that'll give them a kick up the backside.
Man, I don't even know. It's just like especially when it comes down to 2K. One thing I will say, especially is we got into the online casino and stuff like that, but they do try to add in a lot of stuff into their games year by year. I will say that compared to when I think it was 2K13 when they first introduced like that storyline aspect. I think it was Jackson Ellis. So they try to add in a lot of stuff. So I definitely believe they're trying. Like that's the craziest thing is that I don't think is that they're trying to leave this game this way, but it's just like they just don't know. Maybe maybe they do need a competitor just so they can see how this game is done, or go and look back at the other ones. I don't know if there's patents out for that or whatever the case may be, why they're just not implementing a lot of the stuff. But
I hear what you're saying because SmackDown versus Raw was under a different publisher.
Yeah.
So maybe they can't necessarily
implement
that
a lot of
could
stuff.
be it. Like they can't necessarily use that kind of mode. They have to go with something new. But I mean, you guys got to start improvising. Like you guys got to try to get back to that. But this is a major setback. Yeah. I don't even know if a few patches can really patch. Like, have you seen how glitchy the game is? I don't even know.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah, I don't even know if a few patches can fix this.
What's the craziest thing is, though, is like they spend so much. It's clearly they spend so much money on the marketing aspect of this game, and like I said, they're involving all these legends and all this stuff in these commercials and everything. So, and I mean, like I said, clearly
you're paying a lot of money for the promotion.
Yeah, you're paying a lot of money for this promotion, and you got to know by now that this game isn't big enough to where, whether it's a Call of Duty or FIFA or something like that, to where people are just going to buy it blindly. They don't care if it sucks. They don't care if they just put the game in and all it shows the logo and goes off. So you clearly care enough about this game. You're putting in all this time into marketing, but it's like, listen, you just need to forget about your marketing and let this just be a word about a mouth, because at this point, it's not doing you any good. It's like you're giving out these false promises. You're hyping up this game so much, and then it's failing each year, and it's failing more and more each year.
Yeah, this is definitely the new low for this. Anything else on WWE 2K?
Nope.
They just got to get it together.
Yep. Yes, sir.
And I don't know. And Ukes isn't the one to come out and do the damage control thing. They don't. But we'll see after maybe some updates. See how it is. We'll keep up with that story. What are we playing right now? I'm still playing the Outer Worlds. I'm gonna get in The Witcher 3.
Awesome.
I'm gonna review that for next year.
Yeah,
I'll do a review over that.
And they dropped their new Netflix.
Oh, they're about to. Yeah. Because I saw did you see the new trailer?
Yeah, I saw. Well, I didn't see the trailer, but I saw that
they did it.
Yeah, they did it. So
it looks really good. I'm gonna watch it. Can't wait to watch it because I think it's gonna give some good backstory in the game. But I'm gonna play The Witcher 3 and do a review on that. The Outer Worlds review will come out, and then hopefully soon I can't wait to start playing Pokemon, and I might do that Jedi Fallen Order, that new EA game.
So right now I am just been kind of at a halt, like I said, studying, ministry, a bunch of stuff like that. So my hope is I just downloaded this new game. I don't even know what it is, but I'm going to be going through a lot of Steam games, trying to see just, what's worth people's time, because like I said, I love PC. You've come across onto the PC board. So, like I said, right now it's nothing, but I do got like a lot of games that I've come across on Steam. I just haven't had the time to actually get it and play them yet.
What game is it? Do you know the name?
I don't even remember it. Like I'd probably have to.
Do you got it? What kind of type of game is it?
I'm gonna see if I have it up here. Let's see if we can pull it up. Cause, where is it at? Because it looked pretty interesting. Mm-hmm. Oh, They Can't Stop. Right now, They Can't Stop All of Us. And it got like a lot of good reviews on Steam, or at least
I've heard about that. Yeah. What is that?
And so it's basically like this game that this guy created kind of prior to the Area 51 raid.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's kind of like a game that's just based on, and like when I looked at it, I'm like, that looks like that's kind of similar to that Area 51 raid type of game. So that's what it is. So I'm going to be playing that just because, like I said, it's got a lot of good reviews. It seems like it's fun. Mm-hmm. But other than that, like I said, I'm going to kind of be looking at more and more games. I don't want to get into something too crazy because I know I want to be able to dedicate the time to it so that if I do a review on it, that I can understand it fully versus me trying to rush through it. So
Tashelle says I never finished The Witcher because I kept putting it down and then coming back and not remembering the controls. I have the same issue with Sekiro. Yeah. And there was a point I was so cold to Sekiro, I was not getting touched. And then I put the game down, and then I got back on it, and I was like, I keep getting killed. Like, I don't remember any of the controls like that. Like, I don't know what's going on. But no, that game sounds... It sounds very Untitled Goose Game-ish, I guess.
That's probably literally
it sounds
what
like one of those kind of games where it's free and it has like a really unique concept. Yeah. So it's like... I don't know, it sounds great. I can't wait for you to review that.
Yeah, clearly, like I said, people are enjoying it. Like I said, it'd be kind of a fun game, just to show people what is out there. Now, when it comes down to The Witcher 3, like I said, I never picked up the game. I had to watch like somebody else on YouTube, and even that series went on forever that I had to like stop and forget. Long game. So
it's a very long game, especially with the expansions. You're looking about 200 hours of gameplay.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna do the regular. Like I know I played so much of it, and I'm gonna go back into it on PC. I already kind of know what I'm gonna say, and I kind of know what the review score is gonna be, but I'm gonna play it again and kind of give it a more updated look on it. Yeah, and see if it still comes out the same to me, because this game isn't terribly old. It's like 2015, so it's not like playing Ocarina of Time again, where you're like, oh, this game looks bad, but I know it's good. Right. Nostalgia can be evil, people. Yeah. Nostalgia can be real evil. Right. So yeah, I'm looking forward to playing Pokemon, looking forward to playing Jedi Fallen Order, which does look good. Yeah. Hopefully EA doesn't mess that up. I just feel like they can't mess it up. This has been a long, like I thought Anthem was going to mess up straight away, but I literally looking at this game, I'm like, they can't mess this up. It looks so good. Yeah. They cannot, they just not respawn. Please don't do it.
Yeah. Well, like I said, we'll see and we'll roll with it.
Yeah, we'll roll with it. Yo, that's everything I got, Jay. You got anything else to say? Finishing out?
No, we're right on time.
We're right on time. I've been Curtis Russell with the Seoul Dojo Podcast. This has been Jamal Johnson. And we'll check you guys. He's like, I just look, you're doing it for me. Yeah, like, you got it. Yeah, we're good. And we'll check you guys later, all right? Peace.